Yo, what's good in the hood? It's your boy, TWI, $T, Uncle Twist in the mix,
What's good? It's your boy Sincere, a.k.a. Sin, a.k.a. Sin Simma. Who got the keys to the Beamer?
You already know the boy get busy. You ask who is he? It's your boy Tizzy. Showtime. You already know what it is. Man Dem Podcast all day.
Follow the Man Dem Podcast at Man Dem Podcast. That's Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Toronto West End, done. Man Dem Podcast, episode 30.
30 for 30 like ESPN.
What up, dog?
30 like the old heads around this table.
Dirty
Speak for
30.
yourselves, yo. I'm the young boy.
You already tried to do this
This
shit.
guy cracked 30 though. What is he talking about?
He's begging.
I'm not off the calendar yet.
He must be trying to get the last of whatever is left on that youthful.
You're in your second childhood? Shout to Nas.
You know a few people that are trying to live their second childhood, but that's a discussion for another day.
What up, man?
Holy. Today, it's Sunday, probably wiping the coal out of your eye. Some people probably watching football. We have the stance. Well, my stance is, fuck the NFL this year. I'm not fucking with the NFL.
Been my stance. I was about to put on my Miami Dolphins friggin' fitted today to match like a polo top, and I had to put it down. I'm like, yo, it shit has an NFL logo on the back of the fitted, bro. Like,
I think the only jersey I'll wear this year is the Cap jersey.
mm-hmm.
But
Rightfully so, yeah.
But yeah, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the reason why Cap has always been kneeling, protesting. If you guys have not heard about the Dallas shooting, so let's just break it down for you if you're not familiar. In Dallas, an off-duty police officer came home to her, condo or apartment complex. She apparently parked on the wrong floor. So she lives on the 3rd floor. She parked on the 4th floor.
Yeah.
So when she was on the floor, she went to what she believed was her apartment. And this is all her account, by the way. She said her door was ajar, was slightly open.
Mm-hmm.
And when she slightly opened the door, she said she saw a dark figure in the apartment, gave some verbal commands and let off 2 shots. One hit the victim in their chest, and the victim died. But here is the kicker. She accidentally was, as I mentioned, she was on the wrong floor. So she entered the wrong apartment and shot an unarmed black man in his own apartment.
It doesn't get any more ridiculous than that.
Of course, it's a dark figure. He's black, right? She probably thought he's spooky on some Gran Torino
or
shit.
the shadowy figure lurking, or however to describe it.
So she posted bail. I don't know who paid for her bail.
My department.
Yeah, she's a police officer. Apparently, when the incident happened, she didn't even get arrested until like a few days later. Like a regular civilian wouldn't get that type of leeway, but she's a police officer.
Though the one thing I will say though, I don't know which one of her chiefs or whatever, but I did see a clip of somebody from a department out there, and they weren't really defending her. They actually, right out the gate, from when I seen once, they saw a camera rolling, and they said that she will be charged with manslaughter, and they're like there's no real pillow of excuse for this one, and they're gonna get the deep root of the answer. But as of right now, they're gonna have her on manslaughter. Okay. I don't know in regards to the timing of when from the incident, but I know that once they started putting press to the police, I don't think she has the support of her youth on this one, because even they probably want to know what was your state of mind, were you intoxicated?
Right.
There's too many loopholes in this shit, and she does.
To fill in.
And apparently in the past she did let off she let off her gun in another situation as well. So
yeah, I think they were trying to take down the suspect apparently, and they tased them, and they just couldn't get the suspect down. So apparently she shot the suspect.
So she's been triggered.
But the suspect didn't die. So this is like, I guess, her second incident involving, letting off her firearm in the line of, well, she wasn't even in the line of duty, for this incident because she was off duty. So I think that's a big factor. She wasn't even she wasn't on duty. She's off duty. She's in her uniform. And here's the thing too. There's a lot of different accounts from witnesses in the building. They said, well, she mentioned the door was ajar, was open.
Yeah.
But apparently neighbors were saying they heard somebody banging on the door. So that's a little suspect. Like, if the door was open, you wouldn't be banging on the door. Apparently she was saying open the door, banging on the door, opening the door. Another factor that's weird to me is in front of this guy, sorry, by the way, the victim's name is, how do you pronounce his name? Botham Jean. His family's from St. Lucia.
Okay.
So in front of his unit, there's like a big red, like mat in front of his unit.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a mat in front of her door. So
Yeah.
people are like, how did you not notice that red mat in front of, quote unquote, your apartment?
Which shows that she was in sound of mind, or was this malicious?
That's suspect too. And then another factor that somebody brought up to me, which was an interesting point. So say if that was like your house or your apartment.
Yeah.
If the door's open and somebody's in there, and I think she said the lights were off, it was a dark figure, that could be anybody in your apartment. Not just a burglar or something. That could be a family member. It could be somebody it could be the landlord. It could be whoever.
There's a lot of different scenarios.
So, and you're a police officer, so you didn't turn on the light to see what was going on. You didn't call out to just figure out who was in the apartment. Like, it could have been a family member. So you just walked in there, let off 2 shots, and then what happens if it was like your dad or something? Like, oh shit, I just shot my dad, or your mom, or whatever. That was a little suspect to me too. So this is like highly troubling to me because it's like another unarmed black man dead. A lot of people are focusing on the angle of what she did, but I'm thinking of like as Botham, if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, excuse me. That must have been terrifying to be in your apartment, somebody either banging on your door or just open your door.
Or disappears, startles you, yeah.
Says whatever to you. You're probably confused because you're in your own home, and then you just get shot and killed. Like, that must have been terrifying. Like, I can't even imagine that happening. Like,
yeah, it just seems like it's always something different, you know what I mean? And it's same type of end result, but a different scenario. Like, at least to Sho's point, if the chief's saying that definitely they're getting pressed like that and she's going to get the manslaughter rap, that's obviously some justice to a degree. But these things just gotta dissolve, man. It's just getting ridiculous.
Do you actually think, although despite what he's saying,
well, nothing's official either, right?
Do you think they're gonna prosecute her to the full extent, or they're gonna?
Well, if they don't got the backing of the union,
yeah, she gets prosecuted because she wasn't on duty. You can't justify that she was in a pursuit where she can be like she mistook a cell phone for a gun, or she felt threatened in regards to, I mean, like someone was resisting arrest, or she had to use force. Like, someone needs to know her state of mind, or test her for drugs, or get some psych evaluation, because those are the things. Other than that, she can't be protected behind her badge at this point.
Mm-hmm. But I will not be surprised if somehow, some way, they try to, ruin his character somehow.
As they always try, yeah.
Yeah. But apparently his family's in St. Lucia. I think they're politicians. So
he lives there, and they were, visiting him?
I think he's 26. He goes to school in the States.
Yeah.
So he's not like...
He's international still.
Yeah, so okay. I feel like... Yeah, there's going to be a lot of scrutiny when it comes to police, especially because if his family's like politicians in St. Lucia, he's just a student abroad studying. I'm assuming apparently he's like a straight shooter, I don't think there's any dirt on him. But you know how the police get down. They'll find something like.
We'll try to paint this scenario to depict his character.
He didn't pay a parking ticket, so all of a sudden he's the scum of the earth. Let me not be so negative towards the police, but we've seen it happen all too many times with these type of situations.
A lot of those angles in the past, though, like again, right, like they were being defended behind their badge. Just because, I mean, they were in the line of duty and maybe they were trigger happy too, but they were behind the badge riding in a squad car, something like that. Like, she doesn't get any angle or approach in that matter because this is somebody that could have been doing some type of drugs, because had a kind of stress level factor and mistook someone else's door for hers, or just could have probably just had a neighbor she couldn't stand and just felt like she had an alibi to, like, get through with this crap. But even something that you had mentioned, Sin, and that's not going to matter neither here or there, is that they're going to start reaching for stuff about him and his past and his family. Like, this situation, that won't aid them in any regard, because this is someone that was in their place of residence, not on his street wreaking any type of havoc, not walking the sidewalk making any old white lady clutch her purse or anything. He was into his house and fuckery landed on his doorstep. So whatever tactical approach they had or whatever blueprint for, you know, getting somebody off that they had that worked before, it won't work in this situation, only because he was at home, not posing a threat to anybody. So, you know, this small falls down on her, and this is probably the one time you'll see them sell out an officer, because if it doesn't make sense to them, then it's hard to make it make sense to everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she might be riding dolo on this one, I mean, on some Dorolo shit.
And manslaughter is considered what? Like, is that like more of like mistaken murders? Like, not like intent? Like,
I was like, it's not something that you like woke up or like, unless they could prove it differently, right? Unless they go through her diary.
Yeah.
They go through her diary and realize it's something she's been kind of contemplating before. But I mean, yeah, like manslaughter, I mean, that's comes in regards to, I mean, just come out of it. First degree would be, you premeditated. Anything second degree is on something, I mean, like it happened, you left your house, you got caught up in something.
Accidental cases you get with manslaughter ruling.
Yeah. But, so rest in peace to Botham Jean. Yidia Ting of the week goes to Amber Geiger, which was the police officer that fatally killed him. You know, condolences to his family. Hopefully this type of bullshit never happens to anybody. Unfortunately, it happened to another black man.
Or any color for that matter.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen to anybody. But
you should be safe in your place, a place in your home where you lay your head. You know.
Unfortunately, another optic of a black man getting killed by a police officer. So, you know, rest in peace to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stay tuned and hopefully we get the justice that his family deserves.
Also, a few days ago was the anniversary of 9/11.
The event that changed the world, really. It wasn't just something that happened to the U.S., that's for sure.
Crazy. So, do you guys remember that day?
Yeah, I remember it pretty vividly. I was in grade 9 at the time. Obviously, you know, your junior year in high school, you're everywhere where you're not supposed to be. So I wasn't in class. I was roaming the hallways. Had my hall pass on me, though. Had a few of those. But
this guy stole the booklet of hall pass.
Oh yeah, you always had a link back then. But I just remember, like, on the PA system, the principal just kind of came on, and like that's very rare for when it happened at a time of the day, because you know it wasn't like lunchtime or recess or nothing like that. But came on and said that everybody needs to, you know, get to their class or just kind of stop whatever they're doing. So, you know, it's really weird. It's like, okay, this is different. Something's up, right? I don't know if it's directly with the school or whatever, but you know, I made my way back to class. I wasn't too far to begin with, and then I was actually, believe it or not, I was in history class at the time. You know, and the irony of that, right? So the teacher rolls in, and you guys all remember back in high school the TV, the big box TV on the wheels. So he wheeled it in. I think he got it from because not every class had them, and I think somewhere else was boring it. So he wheeled it in, and he just basically said, "We're done. You know, learning for the day. Something, you know, catastrophic has happened on the news. We're gonna watch it, and if there's any questions that anybody wants to talk, I'll be here." And then we were just watching the replays of just, you know, seeing these planes going into the World Trade Centers, you know, And at that time, they really weren't so much talking about, per se, how many victims were at the time and who was responsible. It was just that, like, you know, these two buildings were getting hit, like, direct, and it was just, the rumble and everything was just chaotic. So no one really had any concrete information what was going on. And then, you know, you're still young. I was young at the time. I'm just kind of taking it all in and digesting it a little bit like a deer in the headlights. I'm like, this is, like, crazy. Like planes are going into this building, you know?
Yeah, look real.
Yeah, exactly. It's like something you would see out of, like, a James Cameron film. The only thing is it's reality hitting you, you know? So I remember that vividly. Like, I was in class, and, like, you can hear a pin drop. Like, no one was really talking or cracking jokes with each other. Everybody's eyes were glued on the TV. So by the time we left school, obviously more information had come out. And when I got home, my aunt had the TV on. Like, everyone had the TV on. Everyone were watching it, and that's kind of when more information came out about it. It was really sad. Just something that nobody, I guess, you know, in this day and age, you know, would have expected coming or to see it, but it really changed things, man, for sure. So that's what I was doing when it happened.
Yeah, I remember where I was when it happened. I was at Lakeshore the same time as Twist, you know what I mean? At grade 12, you know what I mean? And I was at gym, you know, and we were actually outside for gym at the time. And I actually had to go inside and use the bathroom. So when I went inside to use the bathroom, I walked past the staff lounge. And I walked past the staff lounge and saw a bunch of teachers around a TV. And when I was walking past, I saw the second plane going into the building. But at that point, like, when you're watching it happen, I had thought it was something reminiscent of, like, an action film. Mm-hmm. So I thought they were actually watching something. I didn't even know what was happening, right? So I used the washroom, I was walking back, and, like, everyone just had this weird reaction. And then even I went back outside, there's probably like 15 minutes left into gym. As we were walking back into the school to go to the change room and all that, like, my gym teacher, he pulled up into the teacher's lounge and they explained to him what had happened. And then he had told us, I'm like, yo, that's what I'd seen on the TV. That was a second plane. So, like, there was 2 planes went into the building. And then he talked about, like, after you get changed, you go to your next class during the morning, then they told you, like, there was other targets, you know what I mean? Like Washington and all that. So I was actually in gym, grade 12, outside playing soccer. I mean, when it happened, and just like by chance, you know, going to the bathroom, I was able to, you know, see the second plane going. And that's not even something that, you know, like, oh, like, I actually seen the second plane going into the building. Boy, like, I seen it, and even at that point, I'm 17 at that point, so I'm just thinking, okay, yeah, like, this is from some action film, or like, I'm at that point, like, why did everyone, like, we've never seen these kind of graphics or something. I'm thinking it's not even legit.
Yeah.
Like, you really saw the plane crashing into the building, right? And then to know that, and it's so crazy. I always think about it, like, just the time and the era, like, that has had an impact on everybody, and everyone remembers where they were. And that happened with, like, no social media or nothing. And, like, everyone could remember where they were, and that was something that everyone had to soak in, like, on a real moment. Like, you had to, I mean, be around a TV, or you had to be on a mall, and maybe, you know, when you walk in the mall and there's certain parts where they have the couches and stuff, like, everyone just had to try to run towards the nearest TV. You know someone that works in that building, you're calling to ask if they're okay. Like, that's what you had to do back then, right? Because social media was, like, blatant, non-existent, and, like, it wasn't as rampant as it is now, right? Like, I don't know what was there, Black Planet at that time, or whatever, you know, whatever it may have been, but, like, it's just to know that everybody knows where they were at that point and the impact it had. But, like, it was such a genuine it's a tragedy in history that was felt the way tragedies are felt, you know what I mean? And it's not any less significant because, you know, there's not a bunch of IG videos about it and stuff like that. Like, I don't think anybody really has taken anything, you know, modern day like 9/11, you know, like post all that war shit. I mean, all that war era kind of stuff. So, you know, like, yeah, grade 12, outside for gym, and, you know, it's because I couldn't hold my bladder. You know, I actually did witness the second plane, you know, going into the building. So, you know, it was a weird day, man. Definitely a weird day, and I feel like you still feel the impact, from that shit, 17 plus years?
For me, yeah, we're all in school, so I was in school as well. I think I was like on a spare or something. All I know is that they felt weird. I don't even know if I was supposed to have a spare at that time, but I was in the cafeteria. We're chilling. This guy I knew, he actually went to my elementary school. I think he served in like the military at that, like he started like serving for Canada at that time. So he came into the caf and he saw us. He's like, "Yo, the Pentagon got hit." And at that time, I wasn't too versed in the Pentagon. I'm like, the Pentagon? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, they bombed the Pentagon. So I didn't really, not that I
kind of went over your head.
Yeah, like I didn't really get it. So I was like, "Oh, okay, that's weird and messed up." But I didn't really process it.
Yeah.
Then we just randomly went to the library. Then they had the TV on showing what was going on, and then somebody's like, "Oh, the World Trade Center got hit." Then as soon as they said World Trade Center, I'm like, New York, because I have family in New York, so I was like, "Oh shit, like something happened to the World Trade Center." And I think same time they had it on, we're just there watching. You see the first building like with the smoke. Then like a movie, you just see the second plane come, boom, crash into the building, and I was like, we're all like standing there like looking at each other like, is this real? Like it legit looked like a movie. I'm like, nah, this is
up to that point you never seen nothing like that.
I've never seen anything like that. And we're all like you could just feel the energy, like everybody was at a loss. Like nobody knew what to say. Nobody's cracking jokes. Nobody was doing their schoolwork. The staff, like the teachers, the librarians, they're at a loss too because they're all glued to the TV too. And even just seeing like the longer you're watching, like you're seeing like the people jumping from the build, like that type of stuff. I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like,
that's fucked up.
That got me a little shaken up, and then like after I started processing everything, I'm like, yo, my family in New York. I'm like, yo, I hope everybody's like nobody's down there, like nobody's
for whatever reason.
Yeah, like so I'm like, and as Showtime was saying, this is like before social media era. I can't just go on WhatsApp or I can't just boom 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 hit somebody quick. Like first of all, like I didn't even think I had a cell phone at that point, so I couldn't even call my mom to be like, she has to go call, and like at that time everybody's calling New York, so you can't even really get through to people.
The towers, the receptions were quite
you know what I mean?
Up,
so that was scary. Then I went to one of like my marketing classes after, and I didn't even really like my marketing teacher at that time. And just to see, I think her son was in New York, and just to see her demeanor, like she was so like hard edged, and just to see her demeanor, like she just canceled class and like the day was done. And she was shaken up, so I was worried about my family. And then lo and behold, my mom told me her cousin was in the towers when that happened. So they died in the World Trade Center. So they hit close to home. That shit was mind boggling. To this day, it leaves like a weird feeling. And just even to know like when it hit home with like my mom's cousin that passed, it was just like, damn, like. I'm still speechless to this day. I remember that day so vividly.
Just going to work, doing this daily routine, knowing information of something like that's going to happen,
Did you guys ever had a chance to go down to the Trade Center?
Yeah, after, yeah.
No, before, while the buildings were still up.
No, I never actually went. Like, I've seen it, but I didn't, like...
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at the time, you don't appreciate it. But I was there before they rebuilt that new tower.
Yeah,
like they still had like the rubble. I went after 9/11. I think I went like 2003, 2004. So they're still like they're still trying to, I guess, get rid of all the rubble and all that shit. Yeah, so
I went down Trade Center in '98. That I was actually in New Jersey. So me and my mentor actually took the train down from Jersey to go down to the Trade Center. R&B singer Keith Washington, and I forgot who else performed. It was like an outside concert outside the Trade Center. So I actually I took a train there. It was funny because when we're on the train going there, they friggin' stopped the subway and said that there's a bomb threat, right? I'm like, bomb threat? First of all, I'm like, I didn't come from Canada, come to the States for this shit, right?
I'm not equipped for that.
I'm equipped for it. It's vacation. You know, you do this shit in the hood. Like, fucking people making improvised bombs and shit. Right? So, but then they're like, yeah, I came from like Saddam Hussein. This is like fucking 97.
Yeah.
97, 90, somewhere 97, 98, right? So I'm like, look at my mentor, like, what the fuck? It's some normal shit. Saddam Hussein fucking with New York. You know what I mean? But like, it's crazy. Like even that they didn't know everything that happened since then with Saddam Hussein and all that. And then, just not even knowing. You know what I mean, like 3 some odd years after the fact, what would happen to the towers. But I did have a chance to go there. You know, I spent like maybe an hour and a half there. You know, prior when the buildings were still up. So now salute to, I mean, everybody that was affected by that. You know, rest in peace, rest peacefully, rest in paradise to all the innocent. I mean, life lost from such a senseless act of hatred, and I mean, there's many conspiracies. You know, if you watch Fahrenheit 9/11 or anything of the sort, but
and shouts to like all the first responders, the firefighters. The
rest in peace to them as well
that
too.
Put their lives on the line to try to save people.
But it's crazy too, even in that regard, because you know when it comes to 9/11 and everyone's like, you know, it was such a messed up mood and all that. I feel like, you know, something essential definitely happened that day.
That got
without even really knowing the magnitude and impact it would have. And you know, that's Mr. Sean Carter, Jay-Z, because as damper of a day as that was, you know what I mean? Like that day also marks a significant time in history, and just whether that be music and all that, but Blueprint, you know, couldn't have came at a better time. And I mean, like,
a masterpiece was born.
Definitely,
out of that horrible tragedy.
Masterpiece, and then just, you know, the world really got to know who Kanye and Just Blaze were. You know what I mean? Just paying homage to the samples and the soul. I mean, that's probably like an indirect ode to RZA, but, you know, Blueprint.
Oh, that's what I remember too. When I was in the cafeteria during my spare, before I even knew, I don't know if somebody bought the album, and then the takeover, the shots at Nas. That's what we were talking about that, and then
something bigger was.
Then when the news came about the towers, it was like that was like probably for months after I didn't even pay attention to that beef, like like the album. Like I didn't even process it because it was. I think my sister gave it to me for my birthday actually in October, and then I was still kind of like not fully there with it. But that was in Jay-Z's discography, that's upper echelon to me.
I processed it. I processed it. I saw the early warning signs that something crazy is gonna happen, and that's even like just seeing him in the, I think it's a game video with Beanie Siegel, and just his appearances. They were just, I don't know, this is a different pocket Jay was in. I'm like, this guy's an album coming. Like, what kind of, if he's just talking this shit on his appearances, like, what's a body of work from Jay gonna sound like this time? And like, you know what I mean? When you hear the Rulers back, like, it's so crazy. Like, tell me if this is like, because the video, okay, whatever the case is, I'm gonna try to recite most of the songs off of Blueprint without even looking at anything of it. It's off the top of my head, so bear with me. So the Ruler's back, right? Takeover, right? H to the Izzo, Girls, Girls, Girls. Jigga, jigga, that nigga jigga, right? Hola Ovito. Heart of the City.
I'm just not. I don't even know if he's going in the right order.
Song Cry.
You just missed one. That's all. So far, you skipped one.
Hola Ovito. Hola Ovito. Friggin' you don't know what you do. Okay, I missed that. Okay. Then you have Song Cry, and then you have oh my gosh, you have All I Need. I'm still missing something though. Missing a bunch. All I Need, Renegade, Mama Loves Me. Then you have the bonus tracks. You have Lyrical Exercise, Breathe Easy, and Girls, Girls, Girls. I did it.
You did.
Listen, man. That's my go-to album, like at least once a week, bro. Like, I don't know. James in a different pocket lyrically, like.
The unplugged version too.
Oh, definitely with a live band, man.
Kind of keep the momentum going with the release a few years later.
Easily one of my favorite J albums. Reasonable Doubt, Volume 2, Dynasty, because of what it did for Siegel.
Yes, I'm appreciative of that for sure.
And Blueprint.
But also, I think too, the good thing that says is that at that point in his career, he had a few albums under his belt already, but it just showed that he can reinvent himself when he's not getting, recycled or anything.
But also too with Jay is that
his flow changed too.
it's because he took Young Chris's. Well, am I gonna say it? Like, I am the person. I paid $60 for shit from Europe, for Christ's sake. It went out there to I am entitled to have his opinion, and I feel like even that, him stealing his flow and running with it, like that kind of just, cause you're the main dude, right? So like, someone that's not privy to the history would think Young Chris is biting you. Mm-hmm. But you're an established dude, and anybody that can just go back a couple of discs and be like, yo, he's not rhyming the same. You know what I'm saying? But that was definitely the time where they were going into Hot 97. It was State Prop, jumping on beats of Slaughter and going at everybody, bro. But no, JJ definitely, birth dudes with that. But also too, man, like,
culture shifting album for sure.
Yeah, also too though, someone that wasn't received as with the impact at that time too was Fab.
It's Fabulous Sport.
It's a chip too, for it.
It's almost like the reverse.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like people just forgot about that album.
Ghetto Fabulous?
Yeah, when it came out.
Maybe a bad day to pick it, just trying to go at Jay, because at those times too, with a lot of the labels, their whole thing was trying to think that, forget all that. If someone's already going to the store, you're hoping they're gonna pick up two.
Yeah.
Right, so you're coming in for Jay, but you'll see Fab as well, right? And it depends on the kind of artist you are, if that could really work for you. But like, those labels, like, okay, Jay's coming out, or everyone kind of knew fourth quarter was Jay, kind of thing. But Fab did get lost in the sauce at that. But probably there are some tracks where you have Holla Back Youngin' on that. I Can't Deny It. You know what I'm saying? You have a few bangers on there, but you also have a lot of tracks. I'm pretty sure I like Gotta Be Thug. That's towards the end, he's like, pay off security in clubs, get my guns and knives admitted. On the type they get tried to quit it. Like, he just, he had a different, you see it in different pockets when he's doing all this, his Clue freestyle type flow, right? But actually, it's funny too. And I'll say that, judge however you want. So that CD actually yacked that from Sunrise on Young Street. It's actually, it's closed now. It's not there no more, right? It used to be across from Zanzibar. Yeah. So when that came out, actually, and my thing was, I never needed the actual jewel case. I just needed the booklet to tell me who produced what and the actual CD. So it's like to crack the CD open, in the store, and just take the CD and the booklet and dip. So that day that I actually yacked Ghetto Fabulous, actually took Dead Prez as well. It's still Dead Prez. I'm an African, right? So shout out Fab, because Fab had a crazy evolution since, because Fab was all, it sounds like, everyone say he sounds like Mace, and you know what I mean? But it's crazy because he's the phases for sound like Mace. Then he went through a stage in his career. Everyone's like, oh, who's a better punchline guy, him or Lloyd Banks? But I just feel like this constant evolution when it comes to Fab. And also too, other than social media, and I guess everyone that's following, because he's just that dude, right? He's he's every day like Capadonna in Triumph. On the chair spinning, right, with the outfits. But other than that, I feel like lyrically and in the realm of the music industry itself, they're not putting him and giving him the accolades he deserves. He should be up there amongst, you know, his peers and the OGs, right? Just based off of time served and the fact that he's found a way to be relevant to the younger generation. Like, they're dressing like Fab, even though he's pushing 40. They're not looking at these young guys in their 20s with the tattoos on their face.
He came in with the do-rags and the throwbacks.
Yeah, he's even wearing napkins. He just tie fucking napkins around the bed, right? So, you know, he came through that whole 2-3X thing, the whole 3X phase that we all did.
All about that.
So yeah, man, like September 11th, definitely, I mean, even when you look into the aspect of, I mean, the tragedy of it too, I mean, like a career was started and, I mean, a 5 mic double XL, a classic LP was also dropped that day as well. So, you know, when you think about September 11th, you know, even though it does come with a heavy heart and, you know, with some very dark and clouded memories, you know, remember the good in that day as well, right? Like someone got the springboard in the career they wanted and someone solidified their legacy with that classic, so salute.
It's the home of 9/11, place of the lost towers. We still banging, we never lose power.
Hey, you know, I hate that song.
Sounds like the most forced collab in history.
I swear to God, I hate that song, man. It seemed like so, and even when he did the 106 in Park interview, Cam and Jay were free, and it was free, and yeah, you can just tell that wasn't meant to happen, you know. So shout out, they already know what that is.
So,
more,
you know, more RIPs to throw around.
What happened to Virgo season? No, I'm just kidding. Shout out all the Virgos, yeah.
You know any Virgos? Any good Virgos?
You know what?
Virgos?
I know. You know what? And I can honestly say that all the females I know that are Virgos are loyal as hell, man. Loyal as hell.
I know one for sure.
It's some niggas that are weirdos. But the females, I've known none to say. Every female I've encountered that's a Virgo.
There's a lot of niggas that do females, but that's another conversation for another.
Yeah, well, I don't fuck with them. So, you know, hopefully they go through their sex changes and become Caitlyn Jenner whenever they start fighting that. But nah, females are definitely loyal in regard to the Virgo aspect. But nah, September seems to be a lot of damper, a lot of RIPs, and
so
you know what I mean?
The best way to bring it, we're bringing the fall season, but you know. We definitely remember Paul Walker, which, you know, fortunately, time catches up on us, you know. It's been 5 years now since we lost him.
Shit.
Yeah.
Already?
November 2013, yeah.
Without you.
And he would have been 45 years old.
That was why you stopped. I thought you tried to shoot your shot, yo, for freaking B-Town Idol, yo. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I like to withstand. Yeah, nah. Honestly, Paul Walker, that's honestly the irony, bro.
But yeah, like that's what I was gonna say, the irony, because a lot of people obviously like they have him synonymous with the Fast and Furious franchise. He was the Fast and Furious franchise. Both him and Vin Diesel shared that, and the fact that, you know, he was in the Porsche Carrera GT, I think it was, with a friend coming from one of his charity events, and then go figure, they cut a corner, whatever, too quick. They slam into a street lamppost and car explodes, and, you know, the news reports, you know, the rest is history. Just the way, I don't know if that's kind of like a sick joke or if it's just unfortunate. That's just the way that he went out in that sort of fashion. Because the movie that I remember him the most for is Joyride, which is kind of similar, but it's not like a speeding movie. So it's like one of those things. I don't know if he had a preference for movies with cars, if he was just a car lover at heart.
Or they typecast it on.
That too. So, but I don't know, just coming full circle in this for the way for him to go out, I just think it's just really tragic, you know? And he was universally liked by a lot of people, his peers, fans. He was never really like, you know, in any kind of mess or any kind of, you know, scandals or nothing like that. So with the shocking of his death, because it was in the middle of filming too of Furious 7, they basically put everything on hold, you know, just to pay respects to him. And it's good that, you know, his castmates, even though they're still continuing the franchise and they're even doing a spin-off now with The Rock and Jason Statham, that they're starting to shoot too. It's good that we're keeping his memory alive, you know, because you got to give people the flowers, you know, when they can smell them still. We always keep saying that on here, you know. So,
but even like that point, because maybe I'm just different, but like with Paul Walker's passing and all that, and just the untimeliness of it, and in the middle of shooting, like the fact that I don't know, maybe because I feel like you should always know like when to end something, like. which is for me, like, I'm not, cool. Shout out AMC for, like, Walking Dead, but, like, how long can you fucking stretch zombies? Like, at what point don't you know when to, like, just say, yo, that needs to come to an end? Like, I feel like, just based off of just the basic one-on-one template of comedy, maybe Big Bang Theory could have went maybe 2-3 more seasons, but even they said, okay, I know when to pull the cord on that, right? Like, all the great shows, but, like, even this, like, he passed, and he was, like, a vital, like, pivotal character in the franchise, and like, now that he's passed, like, I feel like maybe the way they could have just wrapped up and closed it, but also too, based off of all the death-defying stunts and all that, there's a financial figure to this, right? So as much as the sentimental aspect of it and the respectable thing maybe is to just end the franchise, the dollar factor of it is, just try to spin this off. Even apparently, too, like, they've gotten confirmation from a couple of his brothers that they'll do some stand-in shots as well. And if it needs to get to that again, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. That's just weird to me because I get, like, completely left field. But it's even like when, like, they said they're going to stop retroing Jordans, right? And that's when they did all those countdown packs. And you're like...
You got hoodwinked.
And I was like, yo, that's dope. Like, okay, yeah, you know what I mean? Like... I'm thinking they're going to probably end at the number Jordan 23, and the jersey number is 23, and all that. And then they did all these countdown packs to give everybody that last chance. Like, yo, if you never had these before, you have to buy these in these packs to get numbers 1 to whatever. And then the next year, by the way, we're so retro and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been dope if, okay, yo, now you stop doing retros, you're just going to do these Jordan 31s, whatever the fuck the thing is. But, like, these retros are coming out again. And they're going to add value, right? That would have been an ode to, the people that have been riding from day one, the real sneaker collector. I mean, the person that went to your boutique before we had a house of hoops. And all these things, I mean, like, at our disposal, like a Jordan on Young Street, right? But they didn't, right? Because of the dollar aspect.
That's a good point because...
I like that. Well said, by the way.
In reference to...
Thank you, man. My mind be... cool.
In reference to the Fast and Furious franchise, I was like, okay, maybe I'm like, I'll watch that one because I kind of got turned off because there's like so many, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch that one. Yeah. I'll watch that one out of respect because I was thinking, maybe they'll just close out, and then it's like they're still continuing to make them. It, like, to me, just for me, they're making money, but to me personally, it just tainted the franchise for me. Like, I don't care to go watch the Fast and Furious at all. If I see it on TV, I don't even really care to watch it.
Tragedy, man.
Because it's just like it has no impact now. There's like, how many Fast and Furious are there now? Like
they just did 8. I think that one grossed the most though. No, that's number 7 because that. But yeah, profit over tragedy, man. That's the oldest transaction in the book.
But one came out after that one though. And when they were like...
the 7, and then there's the Fate of the Furious 8. So there's...
You're right, okay, yeah. It's 8, so it can be number 9 at this point, right?
Yeah, so...
Jesus Christ.
Well, they're doing the one that's the spin-off is a whole different one with The Rock.
Yeah, that don't count, but like, okay, but it's still going with that as well, right?
Yeah, so that tainted it for me, because I'm like, if you're not even going to ride with like the OG or like original, like Paul Walker's like... He's that guy in the franchise, so for you to still continue it, I know you got The Rock now, and... whatever, but it's just like, just let it run its course, man. I know you're making money, but money's not everything. Sometimes the legacy's better.
You just gotta know when to say when sometimes.
Yeah. I guess to them, they're saying the legacy's still there because they're grossing a lot of money, but to me, I'm just like, you're just beating like a dead horse now. It's just like...
You're trying to milk it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like there's only so many ways you can tell a story about cars, you know what I mean? It's the same thing with Transformers, like... You just gotta know when to pull.
Transformers went wrong when they went with Mark Wahlberg, which is so funny because I'm a big I fuck with Mark Wahlberg.
Well, he signed on, so that's his bad.
But after the Shia LaBeouf thing, it's crazy because everyone thinks Shia LaBeouf is a nutcase. You know what I mean? But I started really messing with it from then. But shout out to Paul Walker for real, man.
Rest in peace. And also, unfortunately, another death that happened. Hip hop, another death in hip hop. Unfortunately, allegedly, because I don't think the toxicology report came out yet, but rest in peace of Mac Miller. Apparently, he overdosed on, I'm not sure, some substance.
Yeah.
Nothing specific yet, but it's a big loss to the hip hop world. He's young. He's only 26.
He's been almost in the game for about a decade from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Coming up with the likes of Wiz Khalifa.
In the same draft class, it was
Pretty
Matt
much,
Miller, Wiz. It was Mac, Wiz, Drake, Wale, Cudi, Cole.
Yeah,
They all
Big
came
Sean
out
might have
that.
been in
Yeah,
there too.
maybe Big Sean. Yeah, like, that was that draft class kind of, right?
When it was still somewhat credible at the time, XXL. If you want to stretch it that far, but yeah, for Mac's untimely passing, I mean, a lot of people, obviously, to like the casual listener to his body of work, probably just kind of knowing him as Ariana Grande's ex-boyfriend or whatnot, but he was obviously a lot more than that from a music standpoint, and not everybody obviously knew his body of work, but it was quite extensive. Definitely Blue Slide Park, one of his first releases when he was independent. Like, again, a lot of people talk about like Macklemore and them and independent. For me, he was one of the first rappers to really like, you know, take that independent thing to another level, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I liked what was it, Kids?
Yeah.
Kids, Best Day Ever was cool.
Yeah.
Watching movies with the sound off was
sus cover though, for sure.
Yeah, I know.
Sus cover though. But anyways, yeah, a lot of great Mac stuff, and then the thing that kind of is irking me, just really not only with Mac's passing, but anyone that I've seen passing that has some type of celebrity attached to their name, you never really see, like, everybody's kind of there for what's hot for the moment. So whether that's someone, you know, playing Block Boy JB or whatever trap thing is popping for that time being, then all of a sudden, like, my timelines are filled with you know, R.I.P. Mac Millers and saying I'm listening to Mac Miller on this, and obviously I've seen his Spotify numbers skyrocket. So it's just one of those things, like, a lot of people, I call them, they're not full-hearted fans, you know what I mean? They're fans after the fact, and I kind of have a problem with that. I mean, like, you can listen to who you want, but don't act like you were, you know, there riding with him from the beginning and knowing his features and knowing his body of work, you know? You don't really know much about him, you don't really got to say nothing just to kind of be involved, you know, and trying to get someone view your post or your story or whatever. If it's not coming from the heart, it's not organic, and you never really bumped or messed with a dude like that, then there's no need to speak on it. That's really the only issue that I've kind of had with, you know, what I've been seeing anyway since his passing, you know, because I know his body of work. He's collaborated with a lot of my favorite artists that I listen to this day as well. So it's just sad that, you know, he went at the age he did. It's the same age as my little sister, so... You know, obviously he had his issues and his inner demons. Does it?
Yeah, he spoke about it a lot in his.
Yeah, very vocal about that. So people can point fingers all they want, but it still doesn't change the fact, right?
People are prisoners of the moment. So
of course, yeah, that's basically what I was saying.
When you see people that actually have worked with him in the industry and met him and had like a personal rapport, I understand those people posting pictures because there is a lot of positive. That's what I liked about this, like. Unfortunately, he didn't get his flowers at the time, but a lot of people that he connected with, they had like actual stories about like encounters. It wasn't just like, yo, RIP, blah, blah. It was like specific things.
More
like,
on a relatable level.
I remember Karen Civil when she was in the hospital. He came to visit her, and they're playing like tic-tac-toe or whatever.
Little things like that.
Little stuff like that, like and. I think even Angela Yee talking about him, and Amanda Seales from Insecure, like saying, oh, like we were supposed to play tennis again, and like stuff like that. So I appreciate that, but you know, a lot of people are prisoners of the moment. They want to be a part of the conversation instead of just pay respects and move on. So I've seen people post pictures and talk about his catalog. That I'm like, I didn't even know you listened to Matt Miller. Like, did you just Google him today, or like,
yeah, right?
What's going on? So ironically too, I was even noticing that, and then I saw a tweet from Ugly God.
Yeah.
And
I read that one too.
Yeah. So
Ugly God.
Yeah.
Showtime.
Long story, man.
We won't even talk about this. We'll talk
That's
about
a
this
rapper?
another time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll talk about this another time.
Fair. Okay, cool. You can know that I don't keep up with these new. Anyways,
You guys see this
as you said, I thought it could have been a reggae artist. Ugly God, maybe something out of Shabba Ranks freaking Pool Gene or something.
You mute
Ninja
your
Man.
own mic, man.
Ninja Man. So Ugly God.
Ugly God, what the fuck?
Tweeted Remember when Mac dropped his album the same night as Astroworld dropped, and y'all were saying, y'all hear something? Who still listens to him? And tell him keep it. We had a whole convo about it, and he literally told me if he died, people would act like they never said it. Fuck y'all, R.I.P. So
that pretty much hammer homes the point what we're saying. You know what I mean?
So here's my angle, and this is the thing too. Why, so when it comes in regards to Matt Miller, I saw the video maybe 7+ years ago, that Trump video, right? And I was having fun in that shit. Also saw another video where he's in a park and he's on some scooter and stuff like that. There are all a bunch of old people in makeup in a park, right? And then Sin let me hear this track produced by Alchemist called Eminem. Alchemist and Migos, right? So those aside, I've never really gravitated to Matt Miller just because maybe, and it's not a knock on him. Is just I'm like hella picky. Probably even why when I put Sin on Childish Gambino, he was alert. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Like so, but still, I understand that his music wasn't good as I never went out my way to listen to it. But also, so I can say this though, and if you had so many celebrity friends and all that, and not the people that you're telling me have genuine moments with them playing tennis and playing board games in the hospital, stuff like that stuff you can't fake, right? But to all these motherfuckers all of a sudden going through their albums and stuff like that, looking for pictures, R.I.P. Mac, oh my God, so sad and all that. How many people in his life knew he had these problems with recreational drugs and all that and just turned a blind eye to it or just made an excuse for him as opposed to genuinely caring about that man and trying to help him seek out the professional help he may need, right? Like Ben Affleck is doing it, whoever it is, your bank doesn't coincide really with how important your health is. I mean, even more so, you have all the tools that you're, and all the utensils and all the tools at your disposal to use, right? So at that point, all those motherfuckers, and posting these pictures, R.I.P. Mac, and again, right? You can tell some of these guys in the industry who's closer with who. You know what I mean? You can tell, OT Genesis and Wiz have a real bonding thing they have going on tour. You can tell the genuine things, but all of a sudden, as you're saying, all of a sudden, he drops the same day as Travis Scott, and everyone's trying to give him the cricket approach.
Yep. Or throw shade for him.
But then all of a sudden, Spotify and stream numbers are going up. That's what I'm saying. I'll say that cool. Nah, I haven't listened to Matt Miller since he passed. Even prior to him passing, I can say I'm not listening to Matt Miller since that fucking Eminem track that Sin put me on. And what year was that he put it? Was that 2016? Him, Migos.
It would have been that long ago.
No, that was Alchemist, Migos, and him. That was 2000. Yeah, probably 2016.
16 is a minute, right?
Called Jabroni.
Jabroni.
Google it.
Jabroni.
I don't even think it's on iTunes or anything like that. Just Google it.
Track's hard.
That track is hard.
It's hard.
The most you would never expect. Alchemist beat.
First of all, the collaboration didn't make sense on paper because Alchemist is Alchemist to me, right? Matt Miller, okay, question mark. Migos at that point to me is a fucking mumble rap.
Yeah.
So these three worlds are colliding.
Showtime didn't believe me.
It didn't even make sense.
He's
but
nah. I'm listen
this shit's hard.
to this track.
This shit bumps. So shout out to him and that guy. He had a few songs that could definitely say salute. Probably more than the salute songs. Probably catalogs that work that were worthy. I never went on my way, but. To all you people, R.I.P. Mac, y'all stop trying to just, and even at that point, he's attention war ass motherfucker, relax. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Bourdain, right? I finally learning his name. I saw it, everybody on my timeline knew the nigga.
Me too, yo.
But I didn't. And that's all that mattered. No matter if I follow 900 people and freaking 889 people are saying R.I.P. this guy, they know him, I don't know him. So at that point, I can't be fake to myself as R.I.P. this guy. Google the first image that comes up, and no, I'm doing an injustice to that man. I hope he comes out of his grave and slaps me. You know what I mean? What the fuck, nigga? You never watch 8 minutes of me on CNN. You know what I mean? What the fuck is it? You're entitled to RIP and an opinion because you can know how to use Wikipedia. Like, y'all need to relax. That's my point. Like, Mac Miller obviously has a solid foundation. He's one of the first dudes I seen do that indie thing for real because he put up his own money for his tour bus. So that kind of shit on a hustle level I always rate. But all y'all just trying to be opportunistic for the moment because you have a picture with him, all of a sudden you're gonna act like you're BFFs with the man because you have a picture side by side. Nah, like, when's the last time you texted? When's the last time you guys hit each other up on a DM and said, you know what I mean? Like, yo, meet me at the stew, come burn one.
Yeah.
Like, yo, let's relax on all these, oh man, oh my God, this is my man. Like, so I pray, you know what I mean? Like, with any of us, and just, like, I hope like there's a heavy screening and you weed out all that fake shit for me. You know what I mean? And for anybody else, like, people just showing up just cuz. You know what I mean? Like,
and here's the thing too, like, so now that we're talking about this, like, if there's an artist that you like, and not everybody listens to or whatever, yo, just like that person, man. Listen to the music, support them. That's the main thing, support. Yo, if you really like something, support it. Support it, because you're giving your flowers when you're supporting. Just be genuine with it. Like, if you like something, not everybody else has to like it. Like, I listen to Mac Miller here and there. I'm not even claiming to be the connoisseur of Mac Miller albums, but I enjoyed the things I've heard from him. I've enjoyed. I skimmed through his new album, Swimming. It sounds good. Like, it sounds good. I'm gonna go back to it when it's my time to consume it, because I just don't want to be, as I said, a prisoner of the moment and just, oh, Mac Miller died, I have to go listen to it now. So, yo, if you really fuck with something, if you really love it, yo, just appreciate them now, give them their flowers now, because I'm getting tired of the fake love. I'm getting tired of the you need more likes. So if you happen to take a picture of Mac Miller in the past, it's like, yo, let me put him now to get my clout up. Like, fuck all that, yo. Like, really love the man, love the catalog. Show him his props when he's here, because it's too late now, yo. It's too late. I'm sure his family's happy for his family's very happy for the love.
Yeah, I seen the visual that they did.
I think
his grandmother spoke
to
really
the fans and stuff, which is cool. So, like, from his family's point of view, I guess I don't know their relationship with him or what they thought about his career, but at least they get to see, like, okay, people really did love my grandson and son and brother, you know what I mean, cousin, like,
yeah, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
But so, you know, rest in peace, Mac Miller. Fuck all the fake love. Give people their flowers while they're here.
Yep. Thank you for all the music. It will be bumping for sure.
For sure, we're never gonna forget you. I'm gonna bump Jabroni with all the Man Dem again. One day we'll just go downtown and bump Jabroni just cause at ignorant levels.
There's a lot of Jabronis too.
Outside the apartment 200, we're gonna bump that shit.
Sounds like a playing theme music.
Last but not least, how long will they bore me?
That's so for many years. That's just so many tears.
Yo, happy! I think it would be his 47th birthday. Rest in peace, Pac. Happy birthday to you. I don't even know where to begin with Tupac, like the legend.
There's so much to cover. You can really honestly dedicate a whole episode to everything that he's done and meant to this artist.
This is around the time. Well, because Pac, it's crazy because even when Pac got shot, like, Pac didn't go down immediately. You know what I mean? Like, they showed clips on the news where Pac was in the hospital fighting for dear life to the very last moment. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out Pac, man. Pac was definitely a writer and a soldier.
That revolutionary spirit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But definitely, like, Pac, it's crazy because Pac was, like, my favorite artist even before he passed. And it's after he passed was where I really got into Big More. But when Pac was here, like Pac was like law. You understand what I'm saying? Like, definitely Pac was law. So shout out to Pac, man.
I was in that time, in that era. I was, more bad boy East Coast Biggie guy. Rest in peace, Biggie. But clearly, you can never front on Pac. You can never front on the catalog. You can't front on his passion, his he's just like a renaissance man to me, like the rapper, the poet, the actor, the activist. Such like a beautiful spirit, always trying to help, you know, black people and our causes progress, and never scared to speak for us, and he just had like that fire in him, and every time he spoke it's like he had to pause and listen to every word he said. Like anytime he spoke, like, even if I didn't even agree with him, like I remember that interview with like Master T. That's like one of his most legendary interviews. It wasn't like a sit down interview, but when he's with Suge and they're getting at Nas and them and Mobb Deep and calling them out, like even when I didn't agree because I was, you know, more pro quote unquote East Coast and just, you know, New York hip hop, I like New York hip hop more. I was like, damn, I have to listen to this guy. Like he's so entertaining, and like you just had to hear what he had to say. Like such a soul to be gone so early. I guess that was our martyr, like the sacrifice for hip hop to be where it's at today, to be just such a powerful platform that everybody can't deny and that you have to go through hip hop to move these days. So
well, Pac was a Gemini, right? Pac was born in June, so what people don't really realize with Pac is that people think Pac was like hypocritical and stuff when he was doing certain things, but Pac was being Pac. You ever dealt with a Gemini before? Like, I mean, they're pretty two sides of the coin. But Pac would like make a track talking about bitches in the most derogatory form, and then make a track like "Dear Mama, keep your head up." And that I'm saying, like, Pac was the truest form of hypocrisy in hip hop, but it was so natural because it wasn't him putting on different hats. Like Pac was always Pac. Couldn't call him out on anything. You understand what I'm saying? Like he can make a track trying to uplift dudes behind bars, but say "fuck Biggie, I'll kill you" and hit him up. You understand what I'm saying? So like I like Pac's range, and like a lot of people do. Like even you know, shout out my dude Blaze, you know, Permanent Vacation. We're actually in Vegas and we're arguing about this. And they're trying to discredit Pac, but they're comparing Pac to like dudes that are like flamethrowers. And what everyone needs to realize is that Pac wasn't a lyricist. Like, let's get it clear. Like Pac wasn't the lyricist, but Pac was a street poet. And in his regards, it's just people liked how not emo, like it mean like he's making tracks for girls. Like it means he's not asking Kiki, do you love me kind of stuff. But like you can hear the rage and the authentic of his emotions through the microphone, right? And that's what made Pac like such an emotional figure. Like you felt it when he was speaking it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I definitely rate Pac. And it's crazy because even like when he got shot up, and you know all those days he's in the hospital, like I actually thought, yo, this is Tupac. Like he's been through this before. Like I know how this ends. Like tell me when they're patching him up and letting him out once he go back in the studio. I legitimately did not see the ladder of the outcomes. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe we try to make this guy like Wolverine and Tony Stark. You understand what I'm saying? But nah, for real, man. Pac definitely in what he tried to do to springboard Outlaws and, you know, just everything that he did for hip hop. And it's crazy to even watch Trump running fucking America, and like prior to just being vindictive and being pissed off because he became like the roast topic at like a White House press dinner, maybe at the hands of Obama, like no one was checking for Trump in regards to, yo, this guy makes me feel so empowered and want to like plant trees or something like that. Like he wasn't that community leader or much less a world leader. Pac could have been fucking president. And I say that legitimately because, I mean, like, we watched it, we paid witness to Barack, right? No one even saw that coming, but, like, Pac has a global influence. Like, I think about global influence, like, okay, yeah, Mike Jackson has, like, some statues here and there, but, like, there's motherfuckers that don't speak a lick of English. I mean, thug life. Yeah. I mean, like they know that dude's catalog. I mean, a lot of these heavy in Africa, Asia. Like Pac is a global icon. You know what I mean? Like that dude can still sell like platinum and he's dead. Like he's been dead. It's not like what we're saying about Matt Miller and people that dick riding him and bandwagon after the fact. Like, we all know Pac died September 13th, 96. Because they go Pac dropping an album in November, and it'll still sell like a living artist.
Yeah. And the thing is, he had so much things in the stash too, so much unreleased music, so that's why they were able to come up with so much Pac-mess releases after his passing.
Pac a smooth nigga. Like, listen to me, man.
Yeah.
Like, no one don't listen. No one. Oh, no, okay, now you brought it there. So, Pac, LL, and Most Def are my favorite rapper actors, and there's been some that have like really polished their craft after the fact as well. A lot of like respect. Like at that time too, though, like in the '90s, when like a lot of actors were getting mad at rappers. Yeah. Like, you guys are musicians, right? Trying to fuck up our checks. Like Samuel Jackson was vocal about that, all that. But Pac respected the craft.
Yep.
I mean, especially apparently Pac was real like influential with Michael K. Williams. You know what I'm saying? And and then like Most Def and all that. So Pac, definitely salute him for that.
Keem Woodbine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely shout out Pac for that. But
yo, sorry guys. I think this Ray hit me because I started out saying happy birthday to Pac like an idiot, like his birthday. That's why I kind of looked at you. I'm like, was he on the same episode?
Yo, shout out to these guys throwing each other under the bus.
Second idiot thing of the day goes to
it's cool. And if you notice, disregarded it, brought the whole Gemini. It's cool, man. I'm here to finesse everything. But Pac was a smooth nigga, because I swear to God, bro, every time I listen to Pac and John B, are you still down, bro? I sort of grab my catty's body, bro. Like, yo, John B and Pac.
But clearly he would not do this now in this Me Too movement era. So
I'm about to grab a random catty 222 tip. No, I'm gonna grab a catty that I know. No, a catty that I know. None of you begging catties that if a man says hello to you on the road, you think someone's chopping. Fuck over yourself. Whoa. What? I thought I wasn't the reggae nigga. I even know. I see like. You're horrible for that one. But nah. Like, John B and Pac, are you still down? When you think about Toss It Up,
he was like a Swiss Army.
Oh my gosh,
everything.
He bagged, yo. He bagged.
I'm not one to front. Like I said, like my vast knowledge of music is very extensive. When Pac I was relatively young still when he was coming out with stuff. So like I knew about the stuff that was coming out, but I didn't really listen to a full body of work until Me Against the World came out, and that's still my favorite Pac album. Like I didn't jump on the whole All Eyes on Me bandwagon that everyone did, and everything else. Like I was just really kind of just stuck with that one album, and then I just kind of knew all his other singles from different albums, right? So I guess part of me too, because maybe I was a little more pro East Coast, whatever the case is, but yeah, definitely when I just listened to him, it was a different feeling that it gave you that not a lot of artists at that time gave you. You can feel the words.
Hey, people don't know how hard it is to be equally as big of a Pac fan, just as you are as a Mobb Deep fan. Like 96 was rough for me. Cause like Pac's not holding back.
When he's like
the start of the beginning.
When he's like, doesn't one of y'all little niggas have sickle cell or something? I was like, damn.
But even that, like he went at Chino, he went at LL, like he went at Bad Boy, he took his shots at Jay. But at that point, he fucked with the wrong one. And I'll say that because Pac wasn't lyrical. Pac just talked a lot of shit and it sounded cool, but like he went at Prodigy, bro. And at that time, nobody knew, right? Mine went at Prodigy. Like it's kind of like how you guys are looking at MGK. It'll be responding to Kamikaze, like you're saluting the bravery in his response, but you know that the outcome, the inevitable outcome, right? All right, cool. Hell on Earth, if you listen to that back and you just dissect the lyrics, there's a good 5-6 tracks on that. Just pew pew, like direct shots at Pac. Even like the last verse on Hell on Earth, right? They don't even have that on the video version. Like Jesus, like Pac got it, bro. On Hell on Earth, and no one fucked her. That's why I was on this podcast that I wish Jay had went at Prodigy at that time too. We're talking about Jay in a different light, but pay our respects to them. Definitely one of the most influential. And it's crazy too because I even beg the question that if Pac and Biggie never died, like would the climax and would the landscape of music be different? Like I feel like a dude like M would have always made it. Like there was no denying that Eminem. He would have always made it had Biggie and Pac still been here.
Yeah.
But I feel like certain things would have got weeded out. Like, I mean, now that I've had a crunk era, you know what I mean? Like, it's debatable if Nelly would have made it. You know what I mean? Because even how Country Grammar came out, a lot of you guys will know that's a hard track. I'm going downtown, baby. Your street in the Range Rover, street sweeper, baby. Cock ready to let it go.
Yeah.
It's talking about a drive-by.
Yeah,
But once you catch that radio edit, though, it sounds you're like, oh my god, this guy is making some sellout track, right?
Yeah.
No, but I don't know if that would have been received well in a Biggie Tupac rap era, right? So I always beg the question, like, yo, who would have made it? You know, like, who would have made the cutting room and who would not have, right? But
that'd be an interesting thing to put on the small screen.
I feel like the bars would have never wavered, ever, right? Because those guys are running the coast. You understand what I'm saying?
Would have been at the forefront of everything.
Shout out Pop, man, for everything you've done, just bodying these Dre beats. You know what I mean? You know, apparently. No, yeah, Tupac said, it's funny too, fun fact. Snoop Dogg said Tupac gave him his first blunt. Look how big of a smoker fucking Snoop is, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first time he ever hit it, like, now he's with, like he's in the studio with Pac.
Yeah.
And now look at him.
Yeah.
Right? So it's so crazy to even think about his interactions in life and the lasting impact. Maybe from Snoop being a weed connoisseur to, you know what I mean, all the different genres of rappers and just musicians he's influenced. So shout out Pac for real, man. And, you know, and I feel like, again, there's YouTube, there's internet now, but, like, watching Pac live in the moment, I mean, watch him do all these source words and just those kind of moments, like seeing them happen, like in real time, is so much different than having it told back to you or, you know, trying to do your research. So, salute Pop, man. You know, you're definitely gone way too early, man. And even the fact that those things are still unsolved, I guess a idiot thing of the lifetime, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
a lot of shows.
People with like no known street address and stuff like that. You guys are solving things like that for people who people are classifying as hobos and stuff like that, right? But Pac is still unsolved.
And he's not alive. He's not in Cuba. That freaking thing that people used to be saying all the time.
Oh, conspiracy, right? Like that was before internet, and that's so crazy, right? Because like he's in Cuba, right?
Yeah.
Now we've seen the effects of the internet type rumors, right? Where Gucci Man was cloned coming out of jail, right? That's what the internet will do, right? But people were actually, like, the FBI actually had to come out and like speak on that. That's how big of a rumor that came. Like, you had to get the freaking government officials to speak on that, right? Before, though, this guy's still alive. They took people that resemble him. Oh, he's spotted in Hawaii. He's spotted here. He's dead. He's fucking dead. And if he wasn't dead, I'm pretty sure it's based off of a lot of these rappers. I mean, you're such a fucking hoe. I love it. Shit like that. He'd be like, yo, fuck, I'm coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
If he could come up out of that casket, he would. Yeah. You know what I mean? Do us all a justice, right? Yeah. So nobody's alive listening to the climate of music now and being okay. Fuck that. He's gone.
Him and Elvis are gonna come out with a track.
Elvis can stay where he is, man. And I'll leave that one alone too. No, this is don't.
Him and Prince.
Prince. I fuck with Prince. I wish Prince. Yeah, take that. Take all these little weirdos. Anyone little in their name? That's not Wayne.
That's a whole game. That's
not Wayne or that's doing these drugs and stuff. Take them. Take 1,000 of these guys and give us back Prince and all these other reputable artists. But shout out Pop, man.
We'll do a draft one day.
Yeah, like a race draft like Chappelle. You know what I mean? But shout out, man. Definitely, you know what I mean? It's very heavy loaded with a bunch of RIPs and, you know, but those are the realities, right? When those times come, you know, we have to address them, right, and pay our proper respects.
Mm-hmm. It's life, baby, but, you know, we move on, we progress.
We keep rocking, yeah.
Stay strong, keep your head up, as Pac would say. You gotta keep your head up.
All day, every day, man.
Love and blessings to Toronto and the world.
Thanks for listening.
Done not.